welcome, my Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign. Welcome to your full moon to new moon read for March 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and I almost said Leo rising, but Virgo sun sign. I just did the Leos, that's why. I might have a little Leo on my head still. If you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please comment in the box below, because being a reader on YouTube without someone sitting in front of you in physical time or on a video chat is sort of like being dropped down into the middle of a Nora Ephron movie and pulled out before the resolution, right? I want to know what's going on. So sit back and enjoy yourself. This is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what does not, and check your other signs. That's why I'm doing sun, moon, and rising signs for the full moon to new moon, as well as the new moon to full moon that I do over and over. A little bit quicker than some of the deeper relationship, path of true love reads, soulmate, twin flame, all that kind of stuff, to give you some clues, some tips, some hints, some puzzle pieces to make it through the mystical maze that are the waxing and waning of the moon, right? So, if you can just keep in mind that this full moon is in Virgo on March 9th, Monday. I'm doing this on the Saturday before, depending on when you watch this, so obviously I'm ahead of the game a little bit here. And it goes until the 24th, this waning moon, so it's a new moon in Leo. So we're going from, Aries. We're going, I have Leo on the brain for some odd reason. Well, I just did the Leo reading, as I said, but you know what I'm saying? So this full moon in Virgo, what's interesting, it is also the same day that Mercury goes direct to Mercury. Mercury direct. Mercury rules Virgo. So there's something interesting there. So this is our sign, right? So this is tricky. This has been a really tricky Mercury retrograde still going on while I'm doing this. If you can't tell from the tripping over my tongue, I am extremely verbal, but there has been more verbal glitches. I mean, I know exactly what I'm going to say, but something happens between the third eye and the throat. I don't know what happens, except the planet appears to go backwards. That really isn't, and it screwed everything up, but it's okay. It's all for our betterment, right? It's all part of the divine plan we keep telling ourselves, right? So if you can please breathe, and I will please breathe deliberately. We'll slow it down a little bit. It's only 7 cards. It's a 7-card draw, 7 different decks, 1 card from each deck to give you the different perspectives of the different frequency bands or pantheons of energies, deities that I work with on the daily, and we'll see if we can get a lovely overview to show you what you need. That's why these are called What Do I Need read. What do I need to see? What do I need to do? What do I need to look at? You get the vibe. All the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below at the very bottom. I put other stuff in there that you can check out on the way down. I will call them out as I go. For example, we're going to get 1 card, Caroline Myss archetype deck, right? To represent you, to represent maybe another person that you are dealing with this full moon to new moon next, or it can be an overall situation at which yourself, somebody else, and maybe even others are brought into experiencing these archetypal soul power dynamics. Cool? Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. I feel you. My pantheons, please. 1 card in clarity, a Caroline Myss archetype card for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, what is the dominant soul power, the archetype, the piece of the soul contract available for the Virgo collective in themselves and another in a larger situation, perhaps any combination or all 3 is going on? What is the dominant archetype for this Virgo collective? Ooh, come on, sun, moon, rising sign this full moon to new moon next March 2020. Okay, a tricky card. All of them are, because there's shadow and there's light. The shadow is supposed to be toxic. It's supposed to be a little triggery. It's the stuff you don't want to look at, or if you are aware of it within yourself, you don't want anybody to see it. You might not even want anybody else to see it in somebody else if it's somebody that you care for, that kind of toxicity. So it's written shadow attribute. That's the lead, the toxicity. The top of the card has the light attribute, which would be the gold. Keep in mind, on the periodic table, lead has 3 more atoms than gold, right? So in order to alchemize lead to gold, 3 atoms have to be transformed, released in some way, and we're going through waning moon, which is perfect for alchemy in this way. But it may mean embracing and transforming the shadow, the very thing that triggers us, right? Facing our fears, etc. So we've got the exorcist archetype. Pea soup, anyone? You're all gonna die in here. The shadow attribute, fear of facing your own demons. And who doesn't have the fear of facing their own demons, their own shadows? That's why the shamanic descent is about going into, well, it depends on the culture, right? I say the underworld, others say the dream time. You know, I don't take the word shaman personally, but some people do. That's why I don't call myself a shaman. I'm a witch, right? Witch, gender neutral. You don't have to be Wiccan to be a witch. So, you know, that gives me a lot of freedom. But I go into the underworld like a shaman does. So the shaman, in a way, is very close to this divine family archetype of the exorcist, right? Because it's dealing really with energy. And what is a demon but the opposite of an angel? So in that sort of classic image of an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other, both of these have to be embraced, healed, and integrated in order for us to evolve, right? So the light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. So isn't it interesting that the shadow is about demons, right? Fear of facing our own demons, and that comes part and parcel. They're terrifying until you face them and embrace them. And oftentimes what those demons are the impulses of our own neglected inner child, right? Our own emotional baggage that we have not dealt with for such a long time that it has become rancid and demonic, right? It still needs to be cleaned up, loved, and embraced. It needs more love, not less. And the love that you give it keeps it from possessing you when you're tired, weak, and angry. So freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses, right? So talking somebody off the ledge, if you've ever done it, then really is a form of exorcism. Now, do keep in mind, as Virgos, we are the servants of the zodiac, right? Like every sign has its thing that it does. As the Virgin, we're always willing to serve, but when it comes to serving ourselves, we can often be the last one. I will never forget, first day kindergarten. It was my birthday. I'm September 6th. Do you know how many years the first day of school was on my birthday? It's very Virgo. Very Virgo. Well, I'll never forget. We had Nutter Butter. The teacher knew it was my birthday. She had Nutter Butter cookies. That's when they used to look like peanuts. I don't know if they still do. I don't eat sugar anymore. That's how I look like this. And she asked me to go around, and I gave one to everybody in the class. And of course, there was not one left, and I kept my mouth shut like a good little Virgo to this day. I still love peanut butter, but I won't touch those cookies. Not that they're not delicious, right? So that thing of maybe it's time for us to step back this full moon to new moon next, considering it is going to be full moon in Virgo, which is all about healing, occupation, all that 6th house, really nurturing yourself, not so much like a Cancerian mother, but like a Virgo, like a servant, like making sure that we are caretaking ourselves, getting the rest that we need, the amount, you know, the basics, hydration, drink clean water. And I know we're going through the corona scare right now, so you do the best you can, but how much of this exorcist is about freeing ourselves from our own destructive impulses by allowing the demons within us, the stuck energies, the angry energies, perhaps even underneath the angry energies are sad, painful energies, freeing ourselves from them by embracing the shadow. Yeah, it's tricky shit. So that's what the collective pantheons, all of them, are saying. Let's go individually. Let's ask the angels themselves what they see. Nice deep breath. Oh, my angels, my Urielites, please. One card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, please, what is your piece of angelic guidance and grace in terms of what we need, because I'm in on this one. What do we need for this full moon to new moon next? What do the angels have to say? A new beginning. So if we are sort of clearing out the destructive principles, now keep in mind, the destructive impulses, we are going through a waning moon, which is about destruction, if you like, waning, if you like, erosion, in order for there to be renewal. But perhaps this new beginning is something we take up over this full moon to new moon next in terms of dealing with ourselves in a different way, or perhaps dealing with others. If you are the exorcist here and you are dealing with somebody else who, freeing them of their destructive impulses, that could be tricky, helping them get a new beginning. But this feels more like the Virgo who's watching this. And if you're a cross-watcher, give them some space, right? It is sort of like clearing things out for a new beginning, right? Like you buy a house, there's still stuff in it. You sort of exorcise. Well, when I moved into this house, right? I came in the day I got the key with my broom and my sage and my resins and my holy water and my salt and my pentacle, and I was dripping with sweat. It's a 3-bedroom condo. One room is guest room, one room is office, one room is my bedroom, and then the downstairs, right? So it took everything I had to kind of remove all of the negative energy from an empty house because it was still here. Any, negative energy is often just somebody else's energy that doesn't resonate with your own in order to have a new beginning. So this is possibly about self-care, possibly about healing our own selves for change, serving our own selves for change. If not, definitely creating some kind of new beginning through an exorcism. Yeah, people are like, can you do a house blessing? I'm like, call it what it is. It's an exorcism. You're not asking me to bless your house. You want me to get rid of whatever the fuck is there. See, that's why I'm not into the paranormal. Like, I don't truck with ghosts and spirits and shit like that. I'm like, get out. Time to go. Open a portal. And sage just dilutes the energy. It doesn't make them go away. Sometimes people sage and then the activity picks up because the air is clearer, right? No, you gotta pray them out of there. You gotta open portals and shit. I'm so well trained, it's ridiculous. But here I am on YouTube enjoying myself instead of walking through spooky fucking houses, right? I'm down with that. Let's ask the goddesses through the Daughters of the Moon Tarot what's going on, the divine feminine energy here. Please breathe. My goddesses, please, one card in clarity for this Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, what do we need? This is a very interesting card draw we've got here. We've got the Sagittarian card. Now, often in a card draw read like this, where it's not a specific spread with position meanings, this often does represent a person when it's a court card. We're looking at 9th house energy here. 9th house is about spirituality and expansion and abundance, but not necessarily the physical abundance of earth. This is the fire abundance, mutable earth, like a wildfire. And in this deck, Ceridwen, goddess of the cauldron of transformation, right? So that mutable fire of transformation, something is changing form. Now you put that in context with the Exorcist and a new beginning. There is transformation afoot, but probably as the result of transforming the lead into gold, the shadow into light. The freeing of your own negative impulses by facing our own demons. I should keep that in the plural, we, because it's us, right? I'm in on this one. I can feel that. I can feel that within myself, the Crone of Flame, Sagittarius, Ceridwen, and I'm a cauldron witch, a potion witch, though this is more fire than water. I'm more water than fire. Very interesting. Yes, that could be someone else. Let's see what else comes. Particularly, I want to see what the masculine energy, the voice of the gods, say with the Mythic Tarot Juliet Sharman Burke's deck, which I started reading in the end of high school, brought it to college, made a lot of money in the clubs. I got paid well. It was the 80s. Nice deep breath. Lovely. Please, my gods. Please, 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 one card in clarity for the Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign from this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Please, what do we need, my gods? My voices of the divine masculine collective of all that is, half the universal energy. Please, a clue, a tip, a hint. What do we need? This full moon to new moon next March 2020. Another court card. The King of Wands, which is the Aries card. Now, I know I just said that that court cards usually do mean people in these spreads, except that we've got new beginning here. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it is about the self. So this could represent you, because I'm a Virgo, us, in that terms of self-initiative. Like I said, self-care, taking care of the self, but perhaps as the result of an expansion or a transformation or a mutable fire thing, a desire rolling through us, transforming us faster than we can keep up because of something we are alchemizing creates this new beginning. It feels like there's a new beginning, not just on the horizon, but already underway. And the fire is sort of clearing the path, as it were, this releasing of destructive impulses, this embracing of the shadow, dealing with the demons, exercising, facing, embracing, bringing them into the light. Because if you bring light into the shadow, you're just studying and try to understand your shadow. But if you take your shadow into light, it integrates the light. Shadow is an absence of light. You see what I'm saying? So you can try and bring reality to your shadow, but if you bring your shadow into light, it disappears. So there's something very alchemical, spiritual alchemy about this, which, you know, the archetypes are all about that anyway. But that there's something initiatory here, and not initiatory like, you know, joining a frat or a sorority. An initiation is just that. It's a beginning, right? So first sign of the zodiac, self-ego, personality. There might be a personal transformation here that we may be in preparation for a new beginning, right? Within our own lives. This could be a very, well, and right, we just went through Mercury retrograde. Our planet, Mercury, just went retrograde. It is going direct in our full moon of the year. So there could be a big culmination and then a new beginning as a result of this. Let's keep going. We've got 3 more. We really have a stage set here. Let's see what's going on that stage. With the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, 4 suits, the Problem, the Luck suit, the Healing suit, and the Grace suit. Let's see what we get from the voices of the Ascended Masters. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising sign for this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. In Aries, this is definitely the Aries card, the King of Wands. Please, a piece of the Problem, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, or a piece of healing. What do you say, my Ascended Master, please? Ascended plural, Ascended Masters. Thank God. It's one of the luck cards, and I love saying it this way. Naughtiness. I know, it's very Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah, that wasn't necessarily my era, but it's when I started drawing the circle. I was home a lot. I watched a lot of Cartoon Network. Naughty, right? Naughtiness, which is a card of luck. It's not a problem card, right? The card of naughty is when you're doing something maybe you're not supposed to be doing, but it's sort of subverting the rules, and it's got that kind of fun, playful energy to it. So, you know, I don't know how that plays itself out. I mean, immediately you want to go, like, I hated that word when I was a kid, naughty. I was like, I'm not naughty. I'm just down and out bad. I just don't want to obey your rules. That's not naughty. I was a smart kid growing up, man. A clairvoyant empath pretty much from jump. I could really tell people's agendas, even if I didn't understand them. I could feel them, something was off, right? So I pulled a lot of naughty. Learned how to be covert about certain things, particularly about what I thought and what I felt. Virgo, right? Cross your legs, nobody knows. About the echo. That's such an old joke, I'm sorry. But with that, see, that was naughty, right? Like there. So maybe there's a way that we can navigate this having a little bit of fun. Like in this picture, it's a man and a woman, and the man's like well, actually, he just looks like he's doing hedge work, but he's got clippers, and he's like clipping stuff that it looks like he's not supposed to be, except he's making it symmetrical with the hedge right across from it. So I don't know, is he working? That's naughty work? No, it feels like he's doing something there he's not supposed to be. Oh no, she's pinching his ass. That's what it is. I was like, why is that naughty? So he is doing his work, and she's like reaching around the corner pinching his ass. That's a Me Too moment. We got to rename this card the Me Too card. They probably know each other, right? Otherwise, you know, he's got a deadly weapon in his hand with them hedge clippers. Going to hedge your bets, girl. So you see, there's that naughty, playful kind of fun thing there. A little flirty, a little sunny, a little funny, a little gay. Yeah, let's go to the Whispers of Love Oracle. So the voices of the higher selves, mine included, may speak and give us a clue what we need. I could see we need to be a little naughty. Maybe we need to play this a little bit. That maybe not all what we think of as demonic is so demonic. It's just the kid needing a break to go and play and do something a little subversive. Not criminal, not toxic, but a little naughty. Breathe. Naughty breath. Oh. The higher selves of all involved, mine included, please. One card in clarity. A whisper of love, please, from the higher self collective for this Virgo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Sun, moon, rising sign. No Venus. Sun, moon, rising sign from this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries. Considering we've got the Aries card on the table. Higher selves of all involved. Since Aries' first house is the self, higher self. Please, one card in clarity, Whisper of Love Oracle. This new moon to full moon next March 2020. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this is truth and grab your beret, go to Minneapolis, throw it in the air in the middle of traffic. It's a little specific. If you're not of a certain age, you have no idea what I'm talking about. More, Mary Tyler. More. So love is all around us, and I get that. I mean, that's truth. If you want to break it down to the basics of spirituality and metaphysics, everything is love, which does not feel that way that way on the planet right now with coronavirus, and let's just leave that there, right? Everything else that seems to be so chaotic. But there is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this is truth. So what I find weird about the wording there, simply acknowledge this is truth. If this is what we need to do, you can acknowledge it and still not necessarily agree with it. And I think that's fair, right? Love is all around you. Love is everywhere all the time. All right, I acknowledge that love is around me all the time. I just don't see it, right? Be honest, be true, because that might very well open up some of this naughty, right? To see things a little differently, to have a little bit more fun with that, to color outside the lines. Not necessarily to break laws, but to bend rules, right? And we are mutable earth. We can be good at that, and we can do it even in service. But keeping in mind this Exorcist card that brings forth a new beginning in all of this. With Sagittarius and Aries, by the way, there's a lot of fire energy here. There very well could be something transformative, certainly, but also perhaps passionate, sexual here. And that love is all around you, even if we can't act on it right now, because maybe we're facing our own demons, our own shadows. And freeing ourselves from destructive impulses. Remember, as transformative as fire is, also incredibly destructive. So maybe it's keeping that sexual energy, that fire, that desire balanced in check like a Virgo does. Maybe. We've got one more card down. This should help. It so far has helped in every spread pretty much that I've used it for. The Healing with the Mantra, the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, I just think is so brilliant. And on one side of the card is a mantra in English. The other side of the card is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the book. Otherwise, there's not much written on these cards, even in terms of imagery. So let's see what we get. We're going to finish off with the voices again of the higher selves who gave us this naughty card. It's so naughty. Breathe. Oh, my Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity for this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising sign. For this full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries, March 2020. Please, my Ascended Masters, what is the perfect mantra for this Virgo collective for this full moon to new moon next, March 2020? Discovering happiness. Thank you. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. You know, I'm doing the DMT breathing, the Wim Hof method, that stuff. And if you're familiar, there's this point, you do all this inhale, exhale, essentially blowing all the carbon dioxide out of your body, then hold your breath for 2 to 3 minutes. Yes, I've gotten to 3 minutes. I've actually gotten to 4 once or twice. It's pretty intense. But then on the inhale, you take this big inhale, you hold your breath, you clench everything. And the energy goes, whacks the third eye like a boat, or releases this chemical, soma, DMT. Well, this is the chant that I do a lot of the time. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. And I say, I allow myself to be content exactly as I am, silently, because I'm holding my breath. And it does send this kind of naughty wave through the body, because I'm feeling good, like on breath, getting high on your own oxygen, carbon dioxide supply. So I really enjoy this card a lot. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. Let me read this to you. Discovering happiness. Because it is within us, right? It's just how do we get to it? It's not a question of making ourselves happy. It's about discovering the happy that's already hidden. When happiness is discovered, you are inspired, which can be very, and by the way, Sagittarian, very, very happy sign, gregarious, right? Expansive. When happiness is discovered, you are inspired, excited, and passionate about the gift of being alive. And I said there's something very passionate about all this fire going on here. I do feel like this Aries is more about us, the self, but well, like I'm sort of dating an Aries right now, an Aries lawyer. So like I could see that as a person in there, but he is very inspiring. He's helped thousands and thousands of people and families throughout his career. And that's very inspiring to me. I couldn't do it. There is a willingness to open your heart to the mystery of each moment. Okay. Whether you're getting what you want or witnessing unexpected outcomes. Okay. The discovery of happiness frees you from needing life to bring you more of this or less of that. The true joy of being yourself has dawned. See, self. I'm really kind of getting that for here. And therefore, love is all around us. It is saying when you're in that place of discovering happy, you can tune to the love that is always around you all the time and really feel happy about where you are in your life, regardless of what's going on, what comes, what goes, what you want, what you don't want is going to play itself out on the stage anyway. This mantra is ideal for facing disappointment, if that's part of the demons going on here, developing self-approval, and feeling fulfilled. So with this exorcist, right, freeing ourselves or somebody else or a situation from destructive impulses to make way for this new beginning that I feel like is about this discovering happiness here, because it's going to allow us to stoke the fires of our passions for our own lives, for where we are, without having to wait for things to change in order to be happy. And I have a sense with this that because it's a little bit outside of the boundaries there, we're going to get sort of a naughty feeling. It's like, I feel really... Have you ever been in that situation where everybody else is bummed out, but you're like kind of vibing in the corner going, I don't know, I don't care about this. Like, I mean, I live alone. It's me and my cat. So the coronavirus thing, I mean, I get it. It's another pandemic. It's not our first one, not our last one. But like, you know, I go to the supermarket and I get what I need and I make the cashier's laugh. The other day I went, there was nobody there. It was great. And the shelves were stocked. Although, again, I wasn't shopping for Purell or, you know, sanitizer. And I really, really had a good time. And I made the woman laugh, the cashier, right? So even that naughtiness, that sort of like what everybody else may be freaking out, but I'm kind of discovering my own happiness here and discovering that it is true. The spiritual maxim that love is all there is, right? That love is everywhere. Love is all around us. And we can tune ourselves to that by discovering this happiness. And how do we do that? I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. So it does feel like, Virgo, we are going to be loving and taking care of and accepting ourselves this full moon to new moon next, which makes sense with a full moon in Virgo. So that's what I see for you, my Virgo collective sun, moon, rising signs. May you be blessed with all that you need. May I be blessed with all that I need. This full moon in Virgo to new moon next in Aries, that we may have that new beginning of the Aries, right? And there we've got new beginning in Aries right there to jump ahead into that as well, for the well-being of all concerned. And may it begin with us. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the like, subscribe, and bell button so you get the notification. Please comment in the description box below if this makes sense. If you see something there that may not pertain to everybody but pertains to you, I would like to know, because I'm a Virgo and I like the details, right? Because the devil's not the only thing that's in the details. Sometimes the delight is too, because groove is in the heart. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon next, March 2020. I love you, my Virgo brethren. Mercury retrograde. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.